I love looking for and sharing wildlife with you. So today I'm actually on my first ever international wildlife video. Let me tell you about it.
I've got 5 siblings, and the youngest of them has recently been considering going to university in the capital of Scotland, Edinburgh. So me and some other family members have travelled north of the border to check out the city. We were staying on a caravan site a short distance along the coast, and I couldn't miss the opportunity to try to find some of the wildlife that lives here. On my first night, I'd seen a species I'd never seen before, and now I had a chance to catch it on film. The tide was low and most of the birds were quite far out, including several redshank. Around 100,000 of these overwinter in the UK each year, although that does represent a decline of about 20% over the past 30 years. A lot of these birds will move away from the UK to breed elsewhere, but 40% of the 44,000 that remain nest in Scotland. As the tide drops on its twice daily cycle, it reveals lots of stranded crustaceans and invertebrates and gives the birds an almost bottomless buffet. Nearby, some oyster catchers had also turned up to the feast. Oysters are rarely on the menu, but they do eat a lot of bivalves. These are molluscs whose shells are made up of 2 halves, such as cockles and mussels. Oyster catchers have 2 ways of getting into these shells. Some have shorter, stockier bills and simply hammer their way in, whereas others, with sharper bills, use them to pry the shells open. Neither of these 2 were the species I was hoping to show you, so I carried on along the coastline. Instead of sand, underfoot was mostly crushed shells of creatures that have lived here not too long ago, although the sea isn't the only source of food around here, as this carrion crow was happily showing. It was soaking and eating the crusts from someone's sandwich. Clearly, they didn't want curly hair. The bits it couldn't manage to swallow it cached under some seaweed. Hopefully, it'll come back before the waves return and steal its lunch. There were plenty of rock pools that had been exposed by the retreating water, and one of the closer ones had been occupied by this hunting redshank. I couldn't help but including this clip, as it was the best view I got of one and really shows the bird's orange legs and bill. I carried on along the shore. Although it was quite sunny, it was also quite windy, which was freezing my face and making it difficult to film. Thankfully, I soon found a spot out of the wind, and guess what I could see from here?
Result. The bird I was hoping to show you is here, and better than that, I think there may be another species with it which I've never seen before, and also therefore never shown you. I'll only know when I get home and actually look at the footage through my computer screen, but fingers crossed. And even if not, I've still managed to show you the eider.
It was a long way from where I was stood to the waterline, which is where most of the birds were resting, but there were plenty of them out there, including the UK's heaviest and fastest flying species of duck, the eider. These are more than double the weight of a mallard, at around 2.1 kilos or 4.6 pounds, and weigh the same as about 440 seedless grapes. They can fly up to 70 miles per hour and are almost exclusively found along the coast, where their diet includes molluscs, crustaceans and marine worms, but they'll also eat fish eggs and even sea urchins. Males are far more colourful than females, and it's whilst watching this one climb out onto the rocks I thought I may have seen another new species. And I can now confirm that is the case. The blackbird here may look like a great cormorant, but it is in fact their smaller cousin, the shag. Aside from their size, they can be separated by their more slanted foreheads and slimmer bills. Their breeding plumage is also different, with them lacking the white cheek patches of cormorants, as you'll see on this one which was nearby. I didn't notice it at the time, but the shag had a leg ring. Sadly, my footage isn't good enough to read the code on it, so I can't tell you the bird's backstory. It wasn't all lifetime firsts in front of me. Closer in, several familiar faces were searching through the rock pools for something to eat. These are turnstones, and I think they are beautiful. They get their name from their habit of flipping over stones in search of prey, as you might just see this one doing here. They aren't known to nest in the UK, although there are rumours it may have happened once or twice. The vast majority of them breed far away in Canada or Greenland. I'd got my wildlife fix, and I'm glad I managed to catch 2 new species on film to share with you. I had a busy day ahead, so made my way back to the caravan, where the snacks and coffee were of much lower quality to what I've grown used to on these wildlife walks. But that is sadly where today's video has to come to an end. If you enjoyed it, then check out this wildlife walk on the screen now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.